The doorbell rang at 11:45 at night. Celine Marlowe froze mid-step, her wine glass suspended in her hand. No one came to the penthouse unannounced. Not at this hour, not ever. She walked to the door, her bare feet silent against the marble floor. Through the security screen, she saw a man she hadn't seen in 3 years, a man the world believed was dead. Adrian Cole, her husband. Celine's breath caught. Behind him stood a young woman, maybe 25, holding a sleeping toddler against her shoulder. The woman's eyes were uncertain, almost apologetic. Celine opened the door slowly. "You're dead," she said. Adrian smiled, that charming smile she remembered too well. "I was. For business." He gestured to the woman beside him. "This is Leora. And our son Marcus." The words hit like physical blows. Our son. 3 years of grief, of rebuilding herself from nothing, of learning to survive without him. And he stood there with another family as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "May we come in?" Adrian asked, already moving forward. "No." Celine's voice was quiet but absolute. He stopped, surprise flickering across his face. The old Celine would have stepped aside immediately, accommodating, desperate to please. That woman was gone. "This is my home too," Adrian said. "Was. You were declared legally dead 18 months ago. Everything transferred to my name. The penthouse, the company shares, all of it." Celine remained in the doorway, blocking his path. "You have no legal claim here." Adrian's jaw tightened. "Celine, don't be difficult. We need to discuss arrangements. I'm back now. Things need to revert to how they were." "Nothing reverts. You left. You chose to disappear without explanation, without contact, without consideration for anyone but yourself." Celine looked at Leora, who was staring at the floor. "Where are you staying?" "That's what I'm trying to discuss. We'll stay here, in the penthouse. All of us." Adrian's tone shifted, becoming firmer. "You've had 3 years to play CEO. It's time to hand things back to the person who actually built them. You have 7 days to find other accommodations." Celine began closing the door. Adrian's hand shot out, stopping it. "Listen to me very carefully. I built Argentum Holdings from nothing. I created the wealth you're currently enjoying. The board still respects me. The investors still trust my name. If you force me to make this ugly, I will." He leaned closer, his voice dropping. "I'll contest the death declaration. I'll prove you knew I was alive and falsified documents for financial gain. Criminal charges, Celine. Prison. Is that what you want?" Behind him, Leora shifted uncomfortably, the toddler stirring against her. Celine met the younger woman's eyes and saw something there. Fear, confusion, regret. 7 days, Celine repeated. "Find somewhere else." She closed the door firmly and locked it. Through the security camera, she watched Adrian stand there, his confidence faltering for just a moment before he turned and walked away, Leora trailing behind him. Celine returned to her living room and pulled out her phone. Her hands were steady as she dialed Daniel Mercer, her financial advisor, and the only person who knew the full truth of what the last 3 years had cost her. "He's back," she said when he answered. "I'll be there in 15 minutes. Daniel arrived with his briefcase, and that calm, analytical expression that had guided Celine through her darkest days. They sat in her study overlooking the city, 40 stories of glittering lights stretching to the horizon. "Tell me everything," Daniel said. Celine recounted the conversation, watching Daniel's face harden with each detail. When she finished, he opened his briefcase and spread documents across her desk. "We prepared for this possibility," he said. 3 years ago, when Adrian disappeared, we didn't just grieve. We planned." He pointed to the first document. "Argentum Holdings is controlled by Marlowe Capital Management. You're the sole director and primary shareholder. Adrian never owned the company directly. It was always structured through trusts he controlled. Past tense." Celine studied the papers. Her name, her signatures, her authority. "The penthouse is yours outright. The investment portfolio, the offshore accounts, even the art collection, everything transferred legally through probate. Adrian has no automatic claim to any of it." Daniel pulled out another folder. "But there's something else you need to know. 6 months ago, I received a call from Special Agent Rivera with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network." "What?" Celine looked up sharply. Adrian's disappearance wasn't about business strategy. He was under investigation for securities fraud, shell companies, phantom transactions, investor funds disappearing into personal accounts. The investigation went dormant when he vanished, but it never officially closed. The R.
Selena didn't sleep. Instead, she spent the night reviewing 3 years of carefully maintained documentation. Every contract, every transfer, every legal structure she and Daniel had built while Adrian was gone. By dawn, she had a strategy. At 8:30, she dressed in a charcoal Armani suit, pulled her dark hair into a sleek bun, and applied minimal makeup. She looked like power. More importantly, she felt like it. The Argentum Holdings boardroom was filling when she arrived. 12 members, most of whom had served under Adrian's original leadership. They looked uncertain, whispers dying as Celine took her seat at the head of the table, Adrian's old seat. "Thank you for coming on short notice," Celine began. "I'm sure you've all heard the rumors by now." Gerald Vaughan, the oldest board member and Adrian's former mentor, cleared his throat. "Is it true? Adrian's alive?" "He appeared at my residence last night. Yes, he's alive." Selena let the statement settle. "He also made it clear he intends to reclaim his position here." The room erupted with voices, questions, concerns, speculation. Selena waited, letting them exhaust their initial reactions. When the noise peaked, she stood. Enough. Her voice cut through the chaos. Adrian Cole founded this company 20 years ago. That contribution is acknowledged. But he also abandoned it 3 years ago without explanation, without transition planning, without regard for the employees and investors who depended on him. She paused. I stayed. I rebuilt. I turned Argentum from a crisis into an opportunity. Our portfolio value has increased 42%. Our investor returns have tripled. That wasn't luck. That was leadership. Gerald shifted uncomfortably. "Selena, no one questions what you've accomplished, but Adrian has legal rights. As founder, he has nothing." Selena distributed copies of the corporate structure. "Argentum Holdings is controlled through Marlowe Capital Management, which I own outright. Adrian's original ownership was structured through revocable trusts that dissolved upon his legal death. Those structures don't automatically reinstate simply because he's returned." James Reeves, another board member, looked stunned. "You're saying you control the company?" "I'm saying Adrian controls nothing without this board's explicit approval, and I'm calling for a vote of confidence. Either you support my continued leadership, or we discuss transitioning to new ownership. But Adrian Cole doesn't walk back in and resume control, not without accountability." The door crashed open. Adrian strode in, Leora visible behind him in the hallway, looking miserable. "You started without me?" "This is a closed session," Celine said calmly. "I founded this company. I have every right. You have no rights here, Adrian. Not legal, not moral, not earned." Selena didn't raise her voice. "You're a ghost, legally dead, legally removed from all corporate positions. This board will decide if you have any future role here." Adrian's face reddened. "You can't steal my company. I'll sue. I'll take everything." "With what standing? You don't legally exist." Selene turned back to the board. "All in favor of reaffirming current ownership and leadership structure?" 11 hands rose immediately. Gerald hesitated, then slowly raised his. "Unanimous," Selene said. "This meeting is adjourned." Adrian grabbed her arm as the board members filed out. "This isn't over." Selena looked at his hand on her arm, then at his face. Her voice was ice. "Remove your hand. Now." Something in her tone made him release her. Leora appeared in the doorway, her voice tentative. "Adrian, maybe we should leave. This clearly isn't." Be quiet, Leora. Adrian's attention never left Selene. You've gotten confident. I remember when you couldn't make a decision without consulting me first. I remember that woman too. I buried her at your funeral. You think you're strong now? Independent? Adrian's smile was cruel. You're playing a role, Selene. We both know the truth. I made you. I gave you this life, this position, this identity. Without me, you're nothing. Then why are you here? Selena collected her briefcase. If I'm nothing, if I'm just playing a role, why do you need me to step aside? Why not just take what's yours? She walked toward the door, pausing beside him. The answer is simple. You can't. Because for the first time in your life, Adrian, you're not in control. And you have absolutely no idea how to handle it. She left him standing in the empty boardroom. Behind her, she heard Leora's soft voice. She's not what you said she'd be. That evening, Selene returned to her penthouse to find Adrian and Leora in the lobby. The doorman looked apologetic. They've been here for 3 hours, Miss Marlowe. I explained they needed an appointment, but Mr. Cole... It's fine, Thomas. Selene approached them. Leora's eyes were red from crying. Marcus was fussy, tired. Adrian looked disheveled.